Okay, so our purpose for tonight is number one, to see each other's faces. And like I was saying, when you all first popped on here, most of you, not all of you, were at our 2025 Belonging Retreat. And it just felt like a little homecoming to see all your faces in the same place. So just, I just want you to know like how much it warms my heart. I actually get a little choked up. So fun. But I want to tell you guys about 3 different events for this year that have come, that are going to be part of our Becoming Safe and available to everybody. And then we're going to hear from some others. If you saw my funny little email, I don't even remember what I said, something where others have gone before, meaning the 2025 Belonging Retreat, and then what they're doing now. So that had to alluding to the doing, which is our current offering. And then to ask questions, anything about the events or anything that's going on in your life and you want to chat about. So that's the plan for tonight. I think that everybody's here. And if anyone has anything else that they want to add for their soul longing word, feel free to pop it into the chat at any time. And how about we start with a little grounding exercise? So fun. Y'all familiar with the 10-point scale that we use? That 4 to 7 being our calm, alert, just right energy, 8 to 10 being that little bit of a stress area, stress response, 0 to 3 being that shutdown collapse. If you want to share, maybe just tune in with yourself for a second. It's evening-ish, at least for everybody. Where have you been either today, right now, or where have you felt like your nervous system has been camped out? If 4 to 7's home, maybe you've been there, but maybe you're home away from home, which is kind of a place where we sometimes move into when we forgot where home is and our body can't quite stay in that 4 to 7, might have become that 8 to 10 or the 0 to 3. So if you want to, just for your own self-reflection and to communicate it, type in the chat a number of about or a range of where you've been feeling lately, or if you want to say tonight I feel, right now I feel, or overall I've been feeling. I see you, Gwen. Yep, right on the edge, huh? I know that feeling well. That can be a really beautiful time of growth because it's a leaning into discomfort. Feels a little uncomfortable, but it's also not overwhelmed, so it's good. Diane, 3 to 4, I get you. Yes. Congratulations, Diane, on your wedding. She had a beautiful wedding ceremony. Anyone else want to share where their nervous system's been? I'll share. Mine has been towards that upper, like 7.5, 8 too. I've felt really regulated, but I've had so much going on that I feel that my system gets a little like, especially in the afternoons, it'll start racing a little bit. And even though I use the tools, it's like my body is geared up. So I've been really paying attention to that. Dawn, I used to live constantly in the high and low. I've grown a lot and now have hang out mostly in 4 to 7. Isn't that beautiful to see the shifts and changes in our lives? Yeah. And Carrie, 5 to 6, feel pretty balanced, beautiful. I love it. That's a wonderful energy in there, that calm, alive. Got enough energy to show up, but you're also calm. It's really good. All right, let's just close down our eyes for a minute and just get grounded and really be present with each other. Maybe feel your feet flat on the floor underneath you. If your feet are touching the floor, if you're sitting cross-legged, just feel the pressure under your legs. And wherever your seat is meeting the chair or ground or bed, whatever you're sitting on, and maybe the back of your chair supporting you. Just breathe into that support and just feel that you are being held right where you are. No matter what you're feeling, where your nervous system is, you are being held. And just see if you can sink just a little more into that sensation of being held. Let's just take 3 breaths together in this place. And if there's any kind of movement or stretch that your body wants to do, just let it do that as we breathe in. exhale and sink into that feeling of held. If it feels good to you, even to wrap your arms around yourself and hold yourself, to feel your own arms, or else you can drop your arms and lean back and completely feel the chair or the floor supporting you. Breathing in, feeling that sense of being held as we let go and soften everything. And one more, breathing in. Feel that support, feel that sense of being held, and then just softly let it go with a little sound if that feels good. And now just allowing your breaths to come in and out however they want to, and just notice them. Maybe just say hi to your nervous system and offer a little thank you if that's available for how it talks to you and how you're learning to be friends with your nervous system. Big breath in, maybe a stretch or a sound, and an exhale. Shake it out. And then softly, when you're ready, just kind of flutter your eyes back open and return to the room and the screen when you're ready. Oops. All right, let me turn this music off. As much as I love this background music, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Awesome. How do you feel? I love just taking a couple minutes to tune into my breath. It doesn't always shift my nervous system, but sometimes it does just enough, or just gets me turned in that direction if I'm a little bit stressy or a little bit lacking of energy. Let Gwen back in here. All right. Well, I want to tell you first about what's going on now. Raise your hand if you are part of the doing. I think most of you here are. And that is a 90-day ongoing audio messages, 90 days of daily messages of somatic and mental shift exercises and ideas and concepts that are basically, I call it 90 days of becoming safe, befriending our nervous system. And we're using an acronym, Be Safe, to actually become safe inside. And that acronym that we're becoming safe is secure and stable, aware, awake, and alive, free from old patterns, and free to step into new patterns. And then we're becoming expansive and expanding, this continuing process. So I want to know, there's a few of you that, I was going to tell you a little more about the doing, but there's a few of you here that are part of it that we're willing to share how you've been experiencing the doing, what your thoughts are on it, and how it's been impacting you. Donna, Diane, April, I know each of you said, Alicia maybe, would be willing to share. Pop your hand up and I'll unmute you. Or you can, all right, Donna, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself. And we are recording. It should record each individual person when they pop on the screen. I'll ask you to unmute. You're still muted there, Donna. And hopefully it's okay with you. Raise your hand. One of the things I want this for is to communicate with each other. This is recording and I'll send it out to everybody in Becoming Safe. But then I can also make little snippets that we can use on like the website for the doing or for the Becoming Safe retreat, to where people can see little video messages, or I can put them in writing too. So Donna, you good?
Yes, I am.
If you would just take a couple minutes and tell us about your experience with the doing.
Okay. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but I've been quite impressed, honestly, with the whole structure of it. And each day that I've been doing it, I thought I was just going to kind of listen to something, maybe do a little breathing and move on with my day. But I've actually look forward to it every morning right now. I wait for it. As soon as I wake up, I go right to it. And it is very easy and peaceful to do it while I'm listening to you. But after I'm done, it just floods me with so many thoughts. And I've been, I guess, journaling. Every day I write down the day that it is, and I write this big long thing of whatever comes to me. And as I brainstorm and have a stream of thought, I've really been unpacking a lot of things that have just been very helpful to me. So just bringing clarity to me and um, just helping me really. I mean, even the tools of the pressure cooker thing that you do when you just kind of like you let that pressure out, and the activating tool that you gave us with the horse noise.
Yeah.
I think it's hilarious, but it's kind of funny and it works. And it's great to just have that in your back pocket whenever you need it. I mean, simple, easy, and effective. So that's it.
Oh, thank you, Donna. I love it. And you have been so encouraging to me, sending your little messages each day, not each day, but when you do send them, and some of your insights, and they blow me away. I love that it's starting a conversation with your own nervous system and then you're keeping it going. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Diane, would you like to share?
Sure. Uh, I wrote mine down.
That's awesome.
Um, so I will admit, when I signed up, I thought breath work was a bit woo-woo or maybe placebo effect. Um, but as we'll talk about later, at the Becoming Safe retreat in 2025, the environment felt so safe, and I was able to stop or leave the room that I wanted if I needed to. Then I went ahead and tried it, and I'm so glad I did. At least for me, I didn't realize I could have, I don't think I could have possibly understood the benefits of breath just through words or explaining about it. I literally had to try it for myself, and it really worked, and I'm grateful I was brave enough to try it. Um, I haven't had a lot of luck with other self care techniques like prayer, meditation, or journaling. Um, but actively doing something with my breath feels completely different for me uh, because my breath is available 24/7, and I can press the gas or pump the brakes with it as I need in the present moment. Um, and I think, given my personality, it's really easy for me to get lost in rumination and overthinking. So having something physical to focus on instead of linguistical really clicked with me. And even though I understand you could double up the breath with words or phrases, um, I'm so grateful for the doing because it gives me easy, bite sized pieces of breath that I can practice with every day. And it's making me more and more comfortable with it. Um, it's really helping me let go of my busy thoughts and tune into myself, which is hard for someone like me who loves to binge listen to podcasts and read books and nerd out on information and stuff like that. And it's only been probably like 2 weeks of the doing, and I'm already starting to see my body reveal thoughts to me, kind of like Donna was explaining it, but it's more of like a feeling of understanding or motivation that I'm getting out of it. And I'm realizing that there are some areas that I can't grow through just my intelligence. I have to grow myself by actively doing something. And this breath has been an amazing tool for me to do that. So to anyone who hasn't tried breathwork, I would just say the doing is a great place to dip your toes in the water um, and try it out.
Thank you, Diane. That's so awesome. I love that we've converted you from being a skeptic. And I'm so with you. Nerding out is super fun. But it's really fun when it actually like takes a hold of our body and becomes part of our life. And then all that stuff that's up here like connects right? Like that's what's happened for me too with the breath work and different somatic exercises is I've access to all this stuff in my brain in a different way. That's really powerful.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. April, go ahead and unmute.
Hi.
Hello, April.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for sharing, ladies. That was good. The I read a book called Breath, the New Science of the Lost Art in like uh September. And so I was like fascinated by that book and breath. And I'd already done some Wim Hof breathing, but I had no idea about tuning into your body. I'm like, I liked it, but I didn't get that part, which you think would be pretty obvious part that you're really doing something. But anyhow, I didn't. And so what I appreciate about this is, of course, the doing it. And it's just like everything has led here for me. Like, it's just amazing how things line up in the right time. And so for me, wow, I'm just getting more aware of my body and my underlying like zing that goes on all the time. I was saying like I have an underlying anxiety that I've been in my whole life and never really quite happy enough with myself. Definitely love information. But I feel like I'm getting to the point where I have to really not that I'm still going to read and stuff, but I'm really looking at rest, to entering into a season of rest and I've had like very big skin flare for the last several months. It's getting a little bit better, but I was kind of debilitated by it. And it really helped me become aware of when I'm itching. Oh, something I would just go on with life and push through everything all the time. And so it feels a little weird and surreal to be in this new season, which I know is so healthy. And this is just a part of helping me. The daily thing I think is so powerful, and tuning into your body, tuning into your thoughts. What are you really feeling? And so I really appreciate this. And I think I've already gotten a lot out of it, but I'm looking forward to going forward. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, April. That's awesome. Awareness. Yeah, and rest. Oh, so many of us like just go through life with no rest, no break. It's a beautiful thing, and that's built into the doing too. There's a day of rest and integration, and that cycle that our bodies are created to follow. That's purposefully in there. So yeah, I love that. Rest and awareness, great. Anyone else that's part of the doing want to share anything tonight? I know, Alicia, you said you might, but no pressure. If I don't see you unmute, we'll just move on. Give you a second. Okay, I think we'll move on. We've got everybody else.
Sorry, I'll share.
Oh, there you are, Gwen.
So, sorry, talking about rest. I really, 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 really struggle to rest. I want to be moving 24 hours a day. I went over a year with sleeping not enough, like concerning doctors. And it was like anxiety build up, and like I had this toxic to-do list in my head that like I needed to prove to everyone that I was doing enough, or that I was there for them and there for my kids and there for everybody else. And I never took time for me. And then I was sent on the retreat, and that blew my mind. And that is like still, I can't even put that into words. Oh my word. But I still struggle to do things for me. Like I'm such a people pleaser, and I have grown so much since the retreat in taking my independence. Like I moved out of, my ex's house. We're separated. I got a PFA against him, and I'm living on my own with my kids and doing it myself. And it's like I'm always doing. And I started the doing, or I subscribed like immediately, and I was like, yes, I can't wait to do this. And to be honest, I started it like 2 days ago because I have been so scared to push the button. Like it's a notification every morning, and I love it. It makes me so happy, and it stays there until I go to bed. And then I'm like, oh, I should listen to it. And I was like, I don't want to fall asleep. Like, I need to be focused. I need to be in the right mindset. And then like a kid will come in and be like, Mom, I need this. Or like, and I was like, oh, I didn't do this today. And I'm just, I don't know. So like 2 days ago, I was in the car on my way home from work and I was like, I'm just going to try it. I don't know if it'll be safe because I'm sure you're supposed to close your eyes and whatnot, but obviously I didn't when I was driving, but I put it on and I was just immediately sent right back to the retreat in that safe space. And I'm going to cry. And it was just like this warm feeling of just like still, just calm, like my body just settled. And it made me feel like I don't do that for myself. And I saw that this was a thing, like I was getting the emails and the notifications. And 10 minutes before it started, I saw the 10-minute warning and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And I was like, kids, put a movie on. I'm going to do this. So I really don't have much to say on what it's done for me because honestly, I haven't been doing it every day, but I know that I'm on day 5 because I listened to the 5 in a row, or not in a row, but like whatever. And I took a couple minutes and I just need to understand that I deserve rest. So that's where I am.
Oh
But
man,
it's
I
so
love
good to
that.
see all of you.
I know.
And I know Alicia's here too, but and Stacey, you do look gorgeous. And
Thanks.
as everybody else does too. Yeah, so that's what I have to say.
Oh, thank you, Gwen. That was actually, we couldn't have timed that better because one of the things I wanted to share about the doing is even though it's in real time, rolling out daily on WhatsApp, you can do it whenever. You can start when you need to. If you miss a day, you don't have to cram it in. It doesn't disappear. And there's this nice feeling about going along with it and feeling like everyone's there on the same page. But when you pull up the app on WhatsApp, you can see like all the different things. So it does feel like a community, and yet it's really safe because there's no chatter. The comments are disabled, so everybody can emoji, which is fun, and they can put their own little unique emoji on that day's message, but there's no chatter and comments. And that just, I think, helps us to feel that safeness. So I'm really glad that you shared that. And my plan with the doing, so this is something else that's coming in 2026. When this is all done, the 90 days, it's going to be able to be moved to a fixed container. So it'll stay on WhatsApp for everybody that's there, but I'm going to move it to someplace so it can be a fixed thing that anybody can access and start and like DIY it whenever they want to. And then what came to me in one of my own kind of allowing the sensations to lead to the emotions and the story in my head was, what if I did it live every year? Like this time of year in January, so it could be available to people to DIY it whenever they want. But if we did it live once a year and had more interaction like this, like offered some Zooms to where people could come on and share their insights, since we don't have the comments enabled on WhatsApp. So that's the direction I'm heading, letting this unfold in the 90 days, how it's unfolding, moving it to a fixed format after that so that it can be used by anybody year round whenever. And then hopefully offering it again next year live with some more interaction. So how does that sound? Thumbs up? Does that sound like a fun, those of you that are doing the doing or that you haven't gotten to do it and you thought, oh, you didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. It's going to be available and it'll be in a way that you can use it how you want and in your own timing. So I'm excited about that. Thank you all for sharing. And I know there's more that want to share about the retreat, which is coming up. And Gwen also kind of bridged that gap there. We have the 2026 Becoming Safe Belonging event coming up the end of May, May 29th through the 31st. And that's going to be at the same house that we were at in April of last year. I was able to get the same house, which I think is just so neat for those of us that have been there. And then those that haven't, it adds to that connection of the people that were there the year before. You can talk about the lake and the house and have those connections. I have a little surprise before I tell you any more about it. I have to do a thing, which is share my screen. So give me 1 second. I practiced this. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, 1 second. Screen. Okay, I'm about to do it. Tell me if you can see that. Thumbs up if you see something that says Spring 2025 Belonging. You all see it? Okay, this is so exciting. Hang on. This is me learning technology, and I get real excited. Are you ready? Here it goes. Can you hear it too? Ah, what do you think? My first slideshow. Oh, I'm not an expert yet, but oh, doesn't that just bring back memories, y'all, that were there? Yes, and April and Alicia, I think you're the only two here that weren't there. I hope you have a chance to come this year. We would love to host you there and see you. It was such an intimate time. I felt a few tears. I saw a few tears watching that. Brings back some memories, doesn't it? And I want to open us up again for anybody that was at the 2025, which was all those pictures were taken at, To just share a little bit specifically about that retreat, Gwen already mentioned a little bit about that for her. And feel free if you have any more to say about that, Gwen. I know Carrie was going to share too. But go ahead and pop your hand up. And anyone that was at the retreat that wants to share an insight, I would love to hear from you now. Carrie, are you ready to share?
Yeah, I can start.
Awesome. Welcome.
Hi,
Thank you.
everybody. So yes, retreat was amazing, and it was actually my very first retreat in my life. Showing up at 52 years old, and I thought, I was kind of like always had to bring my A game in life, and it wasn't until my early 50s that I was like, man, I got some stuff in here that I need to figure out. And so thankfully, Stacy, you're just a huge blessing in my life. And, I knew that the things I was dealing with had a lot to do with not so much bitterness towards people in my life that have betrayed me, but it was more bitterness towards myself in putting up with it for so long and wasting so many years. So that's where kind of I had this depression, and I'm showing up at this retreat like, okay, how do I fix this? I want to move on with my life, and I'm happy outside of being so mad at myself for wasting 17 years of my past. And so the retreat was a huge, huge, just number one, a safe space. I mean, that right there is priceless. To meet all these amazing ladies who we just not only connected, but we were so similar in so many ways and had a lot of the same experiences and trials in our lives. And so that was amazing, first and foremost. And then just really, I think the retreat and just you had it so perfectly all set up. It was just like just a beautiful guide in helping me figure out how to be at peace with with my past, and that, I am who I am now because of what I've been through, and that can be a beautiful thing. And so, I'm telling you, I walked away from that retreat. I felt free. Before I felt chained to my past as far as emotionally. And so I walked out of there. I felt free. I felt like I could be the Carrie that I'm supposed to be. And it was just a huge blessing. I mean, so many things have changed for me since coming out of that retreat. And I'm sure my husband would say the same thing. He's like, wow, like I'm just who I'm supposed to be. I feel like I've embraced myself in a whole nother level. And so I'm so, so thankful and grateful, Stacy, that you put this retreat together, and I couldn't thank you enough for it. So it's helped tremendously. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. That was powerful, Carrie. Free. Like, yes. That's what we're really all longing for, right? To be free to be ourselves. And I hear you say that sense of being like chained to our past. And that sense, I totally echo that feeling that you said, like that I wasted so much of my life. I had that essence for so long, like it's just wasted all those years. And even mentally, I could come to that place of like, okay, no, this brought me where I am. But it's the pain of the tethering to the past. That's what I'm hearing you say, and what I felt in myself. That not just have I given mental assent to, yes, my past brought me here and I've learned from it, but I actually embodied it and felt it. And that's what I'm hearing from you. Like, yeah, I'm pretty awesome. And I can step into that. And like, that's how I got here. And you are awesome. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Stacy. You're awesome.
Yay, we're all awesome. Everybody's awesome. I truly, honestly believe that with all my heart. And you know what's so neat that Carrie shared too is the similarities that we all had at the same time, these incredible differences, even just our ages, from 20s to 70s, right? And all the different walks of life, it blew us away that we could be so unique and different and yet like so one and so compassionate and connected to each other. It was a gift to see and be a part of too. So thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Any other 2025 graduates that would like to share about the retreat?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you, but I wanted to just like completely agree with what you said about everyone having such similarities and complete opposites and differences and all that. And I just wanted to say that when I think back on the retreat, it feels like a whole bunch of little schoolgirls, right? All of us having fun, just sitting in a circle, playing games and breathing and learning and growing. And it was like all of us were our younger selves. And then us there, we were like granting the freedom of all the pain and suffering that those little girls felt. So it was like just little kids having fun, and then the future self unpacking all of the other BS. And that's how I think it sits in my head that we were just, first graders running on the playground having a blast. And it felt safe and loving and caring, because when you're kids, like, you don't have judgments. You don't have like all these nasty opinions that the world right now has. And you're just so accepting and forgiving and loving to everyone, because that's who little kids are. And that's what it felt like being there. It wasn't like anyone was judging me and everything that I felt, all the judgments I felt before, but it was just wholesome. So
I love that space for our little self. And I'll echo something that Donna has said before that I've embraced and made my own. I honor all the versions of myself. And that's what I hear you saying, Gwen, is all of us was welcome. All the different iterations of us were welcome to show up. We did work with our little girls, and we talked about our past, and then we stepped into our present, and we even talked about our future, like what are we stepping into? So I love that all the parts of us and all the versions of us were welcome and embraced, not only by everybody else, but by ourselves. That's what I heard Carrie say too, that we were able to embrace ourselves and love ourselves. So thank you, Gwen. Thanks for being there and thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Donna or Diane, would you like to share at all about the retreat? I know you both shared about the doing, and Diane, you did mention a little bit about the retreat too. If you have anything to add, feel free to unmute and jump in there. Make sure I see everybody.
All right. I guess I'll go first.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wrote down some notes and I kind of come up with the same thing. To me, this retreat felt like a bunch of best friends meeting up after 10 years. It was like a friends reunion. I think Stacy did a great job of creating a space and honestly making an environment where we could all bond. And I really feel like everyone I met there was like this long lost friend that I had, best friend that I've had from long ago, and we're catching up, and things have happened to us, and we've survived and struggled and also just grown up into the women that we are. Something that I definitely wanted to note though was I have been to a women's retreat before, so I did kind of have a little expectation when I came, and I will say this one, not that there's better retreats out there, but this one really helped me more than any of the other retreats that I've been to, because of the open space that Stacy gives to everyone. It's kind of like one of her superpowers of the many powers that she has, because something about my personality is that I kind of feel like other people deserve more time and consideration. And even when going to women's retreats, I tend to listen more than participate, because I feel bad that I'm taking away time or opportunity from someone else who needs it more than me. But then it's going back to what Carrie was saying that, like, no, we were all equally worthy, and Stacy gave us all the time and like the patience in the world. And I have never felt so safe and like having a space to contribute. I also join women's support groups, both online and locally. And I've never been able to share a part of myself until I came to this retreat. And I'm just so shocked that I was able to share this terrible past that I had, and not just the validation, but just this is where I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow into myself, and I just didn't know how to phrase it, like the direction that I wanted to grow, until I met Stacy and the other ladies there. And I'm so grateful that I did share and open up, because I learned so many tools that little did I know, just 2 weeks after the retreat, I encountered some people in my past, and I was able to set up a boundary. I was able to have the courage to face the moment. When I got to my car to leave the situation, instead of staying and keeping myself in an unsafe predicament, I actually was able to leave, go to my car, and I don't think I could have driven home unless I had done the breath that Stacy taught us. I was just so blown away that I actually was able to, I guess, navigate a situation like that and still give myself credit for, I'm still worthy. I got faults, but I'm working through it, and still, I don't know, still keep on going. And I remembered all of y'all's faces too when I went through that moment. Just being able to click with people who understand. And I really appreciate Stacy including my little horse picture that was taken after the moment. And yeah, I just cannot say how grateful I am. This retreat has greatly impacted not only my healing journey, but just my perspective on life. And she mentioned earlier too, I got married. So thank you guys. It is a wonderful experience. If you haven't been and you get the opportunity to go, I highly, highly recommend it. Your life is not meant to be traveled alone. And Stacy and her community, I would not pick anyone else to take this journey of life with. So please try the retreat if you can make it. Thank you.
Diane, that was amazing. And Diane really shed some light on something that's so important, is that a lot of times when we go on retreats or have experiences like this, we feel so changed inside. And then we go home and we encounter the same, what we left. And it can actually really rock us sometimes. And one of the things that was really important after the retreat is integration of what we learned, and the connection, because it's so important that Diane said that she was able to show up for herself. She didn't change that person or that situation, but she changed her response. And that is empowering, because we're not going to be able to change the other people around us or the world around us. But we do have that autonomy to say, wait, I want to show up differently. So kudos to you. And I know you shared the story with us in one of our integration Zooms after the retreat. And it was just really, in that moment, even just empowering for us to hear how you had stepped into that and made a change that you would have felt a little bit lost in maybe before. So really, really brave. And wow, look at how much growth, like you said, has happened, and change and opportunities. So thanks for being you. Super fun.
Thanks for being there too.
Yes. Anybody else? Donna, did you want to share about the retreat? Awesome.
I completely agree with what everyone else has said, and I think the idea that we had a space to really just embrace being ourselves, and also the aspects of the range of ages that were there, and not only the range of ages, but the range of where people were. And the fact that we were all chanting at one point when you sang your song, DKOS, different kind of same, and it is, we all are so different, but yet the journeys have this kind of parallel to them, this kind of overlap to them. And the fact that you could be around other people who, without words, just knew what you were talking about, understood where you've been, understood how you feel, understand, that feeling of how am I going to get from here to somewhere else. And that was the environment that was created. I think that one of my big takeaways, because of where I was in my own personal journey, was I loved the balloons, where we talked about, typically in relationships, we kind of have this mindset where we meld with another person. And just that concept of saying, no, melding is not really healthy. it's the freedom and the permission to be who we are. And I think that we got a chance to practice that. We got to see it in action with other people, which I think when other people are modeling that, it's very helpful to help me anyway, say, okay, this is being modeled, this is possible, this is real. And you can then embrace that for yourself and walk that out. And I also want to piggyback on what Diane said. I was also able to bring a lot of what I have learned through the retreat and through the belonging online and bring it into real life. And that's the most important thing. I mean, we can sit here and learn and we can talk about it and we can do all those things intellectually, but until we put them into practice and utilize them in situations where they apply and help, and that's what the retreat helps with as well. So I don't want to keep going on or rambling, but basically agreeing with what everyone else said, putting things into practice, and realizing that we're all different, but we're all really the same. So.
Yeah, beautifully said, Donna. That's really good. And you mentioned two things, which, well, the balloons, I'll use that in a second to kind of segue into our second retreat that's going to be later in the year, because they are tied together. No pun intended, the balloons tied together. But that sense of belonging, I wanted to read this quick little couple sentences from this book, if you can see it anchored. This is by Deb Dana. It's about polyvagal theory. And I was reading in here, I write in all my books, and it said, our nervous system looks for and longs for connection. Throughout our lives, we search for opportunities to co-regulate. We receive great physical and psychological benefits from befriending our nervous system and learning to anchor in regulation. And when we share our experiences with others, the benefits magnify. And I loved that she used that word. Not only do our nervous systems look for connection and belonging, or connection, but they long for it. And I just wrote in there, belonging, our belonging retreat. There's this longing, right, for connection with ourselves, with Elohim, spirit, with each other. And I'm hearing that echoed back. And something else that both, I believe, Diane Squire and you said, Donna, was, and we all echoed this in one way or another, it's so amazing to be around people that get what you've been through without having to explain it in words. And I know I've chatted with both Alicia and I think April even too about that sense of when we've been through things in our life where others haven't, and you try to tell them and they're kind of like, oh, okay. And then you're around people that you say like three things and they're like, I got you. I totally got where you're coming from, is like this big exhale. Like, I'm not crazy. And I don't have to explain or convince somebody of what's going on with me. And that's really, really validating. And I love that for all of us. It's pretty awesome. So the 2026 Belonging is going to be that last weekend in May 29th through the 31st. I'm working on updating the registration page, and that I'm hoping to have that out by the beginning of February, so that you'll have that. And we'll open it up for any questions here at the end. I want to tell you first about the next retreat, and then I know we're getting close to our 8 o'clock, so I'll pause. I'll tell you about this quickly. Donna mentioned the balloons, and at the very end of the retreat, the belonging retreat, we did an exercise with balloons and really having that individual balloon represent ourselves. And where many of us had been in relationships that had been pretty toxic, we had had this picture that we were supposed to make this one balloon and how did it fit? And we realized that nobody else can blow up our balloon and we cannot blow up someone else's balloon. We can tether ourselves together if we choose and have this great experience with friends or a partner that's loving, but we don't ever give away our own self. And so that is kind of the springboard of this other event that has become like a download for me that I wanted to offer, like a phase 2. And that's going to be in September. I believe it's going to be the last weekend in September, but I haven't set it. So those of you that are interested, I also want to hear back from you. I think I had that written down as September. I'm trying to look at my notes and I don't know where I put it. September 24th through the 27th. And that will be in Tennessee in a little town called Lebanon, which is just outside of Nashville, a place called Stone Meadow, which I had an opportunity last September to go to almost that same time of year for a songwriters retreat. And I loved it. And I already see us there. And this springboard is this sense of sometimes our balloon that we've been blowing up, we find that it's kind of stuck. And not in the same way that we were stuck before. We've really expanded. We've stepped into all this growth. We've done this work to heal our nervous system. We've really stepped into this our new self, embraced the old, healed, and then we kind of start bumping up against some walls. Some of the stuff that maybe doesn't serve us anymore. And we have the tools and we're balanced enough to say, I think I'm ready to test the edges. I think I'm ready to push on the sides of the box a little bit and maybe open it up and say, oh, maybe it's time for me to even come out of this box even further and push those limits. This is something we don't want to do when we really are still in that place of chronic dysregulation, because that's a time, like the words I heard over and over and I heard in my own story was safety, stillness, rest, healing, coming back to ourselves. That's a time to stay a little bit smaller so that we can expand to those edges that are safe, because there's a safe from that a lot of us needed to do. We were in relationships or situations where we weren't safe. We needed to become safe from. Gwen mentioned that in her own life. And then we become safe to, and I heard that from everybody here. You begin to get safe to expand. And then we get to this place where like, I'm kind of ready to, see what these limits are and to push myself a little bit into that edge of discomfort. And to say, wait, what else is out there? What happens when I challenge myself a little bit more? So that's what's this fall retreat. I'm actually calling it the expansion experience. I realize we can't call something a retreat that's about expanding. So the expansion experience is, let me see if I wrote this more poetically here. The need to push the edges, explore our current limitations, step out of the box and into an exciting and intimate adventure, ready to risk expanding beyond the edges, where we openly explore our bodies with some daily practices, our soul, which I refer to as our mind, will, and emotions, so thoughts, choices, and feelings with some experiences and an alone adventure that'll be part of that. And then into our spirit, which is breath and our presence, and even our spirituality and our faith. Many of us have had certain faith walks that we've had questions about, and to be able to openly sit with each other and say, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what I'm learning, this is what I'm finding, this is what I'm exploring. So it's kind of a phase 2, and the way that one, I don't have a page up for that yet. The way we're going to roll that out in a few months is that it'll either be like a direct invite if you're someone that I know that is ready for this, we talked about it, you've been a graduate of the Belonging Retreat, or there will be like a one-on-one phone conversation that we'll have, like an interview, to just make sure this is a right time for you, because we don't want to push anybody over that overload. You really want to make sure that you are ready. And there's a time to be still, to rest, and to do that inner healing. And then there's a time to say, yeah, I think I'm ready to challenge those edges a little bit. So it's going to be exciting. Of course, there'll be music, food, adventures, and probably a fire outside. big one. All right. I think that is what I have to share tonight. Those are the events coming up, the doings going on right now. The next big thing is going to be the belonging, and that registration page will be coming out in your emails soon. I'm going to get it updated and get it out to everybody. There's room for, I believe, about 9 women. Might be more if some people are able to share rooms, but I think we had 11 of us total last year. So that includes me and then one helper with food and all of that. So I'm hoping that lots of you can be here. All right, 8:01, pretty darn good. I will open it up for any questions right now if anybody needs to go, because I promised you we would really honor the time. You are welcome to stay or go. Does anyone have questions about either the doing, the belonging retreat in May, or the expansion experience in September? Donna.
Did you say the expansion retreat was going to be the last weekend of September?
That is the weekend I'm looking at, but I'm open. The entire month of September is open, and they're giving us first choice. So do you have a comment on the timing?
I just put it in my calendar, so I'm
Awesome.
saving the date. I'm ready to jump out of the helicopter with a bungee cord. So,
Let's go.
I'm
All right.
in.
Donna's on board. Oh, and I'm so glad you said that, because another point of tonight, one, is to get these things on your calendar, like Donna said. So you've got those dates, May 29th through the 31st for the belonging. And then the tentative date for the expansion experience is September 24th through the 27th. And then send me an email of your interest in one or the other or both. And that way I can start a list. Everybody will get the information about the belonging, but let me know about where your interest is and those dates. And if you are interested, if you're one that would be thinking about the expansion experience in September, if that weekend doesn't work, let me know other weekends, because that's the one I'm shooting for, is the 24th through the 27th. All right, Donna, you're on the list, girl.
What about like next weekend?
Come on over.
No, I'm just kidding, because that's not the still one. I'm still in the still phase, right? Like, you just challenged me, because now I know I need to be ready for it in September. So I got to get it together. I need to rest until September.
It's a funny
But I want
dichotomy
both
there,
of them.
isn't it?
Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I know I've already heard from you and your mom, who are waiting for the page to come up just so you can get everything in for the belonging. So I think you and your sister and your mom are already planning on coming, right, Gwen, to the belonging?
Yes. Well, I definitely am showing up, but we need to find like a room that I can just sit with everyone else, and my mom and my sister can be somewhere else, so I can, trash them and tell you all bad things about them.
Call me.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm so
Awesome.
excited. I hope they have as much fun as I did the first time.
Yeah, we'll make sure. It'll be different, a different kind of same, right? Yeah. Anyone else questions? Diane, pop in there.
Hi. So I have a friend who would be interested in the beginning phases, so the belonging, and she couldn't make it tonight. So I know you're recording this, but I was wondering, are you having another webinar or like another meet and greet, just so that she can meet you? I know she can see the video, but I was wondering, is there going to be other, like, I don't know, ads or opportunities to meet and greet before the May of 29th?
Yeah, absolutely. One, have her join Becoming Safe so she can start seeing like videos and getting acquainted with
And
what
the
we do with the
emails.
course. And then
Yeah.
she'll be getting the emails. And then, yes, we'll do, I can't remember how early we did it last year, but we'll do like an information Zoom like this that'll only be about the belonging. So like this one was 3 different things. We'll do one just for that so that people that are thinking about coming can hear about it and ask more questions. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely invite your friend and send her the link to be part of Becoming Safe. We'd love to have her. Be great.
Thanks.
Yay, thank you. Anyone else questions? Awesome. Well, if we all feel complete, I'm excited. I love when I feel I use all the same practices like in the doing to really sit with what I feel bubbling up inside of me, and I call them downloads. You know, when you know you're feeling something and you're like, what is it? What is this thing? And I'm wanting to figure it out and think it out and design it. And that's fun. Like, I love to be in my head. I love the learning, the reading, like we've all said. I'm also learning to really sit with and listen to my own self and say, what am I longing for? And I've been doing a coaching container with my cousin, who's actually an amazing coach. And she was leading us through some business things, some soul signature things, and it was more businessy in this one little time that I'm one of those people. It's like, I don't care about that. I just want to do the life-changing stuff and let whatever happens there. And she was leading us through a few things that would be our motivations. And some of the things I was like, yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care. And when it came to it used the word client, but again, I don't love that word, client transformations. I was like, that's what lights me up, is when I see the people that I love and myself transforming, and I hear the stories and I know that their life is changing. And I threw my hand up and I said, her name's Danielle. I said, Danielle, that's what motivates me. And I said, that's what I want to focus on this year. I want to listen to everybody. I want to hear their stories more. I want to know that what I'm offering is not just stuff, but it's actually changing the lives and the experiences of the people that I love and the friends that I'm coming to know. So you all have touched me tonight by sharing that. Thank you. You're my motivation. You're why I do everything that I do. And it also comes from a place of when I was what I call in my chaos, and I didn't have this community around me, and I didn't have people that got me. And I tried to explain myself, and I felt absolutely crazy because everything I was hearing back was telling me that I shouldn't feel the way I was feeling. And now I know that was all a bunch of, to use Gwen's term, BS. So the truth was that I really was experiencing something that was affecting my body and my soul and my spirit dramatically. And I love that I've learned, and the doing is the learning, and that I have this opportunity to connect with you and hear your stories. So it's a big circular loving relationship, right? Thank you all. Does anyone else have anything else before we sign off? Donna.
I'm sorry, I don't want to take away from that wonderful finale, but it's coming out of me. You know, you talked about how you love that transformation, that you can see that happen. I think that each and every one of us, and I'm not going to speak for all of us, but I will speak for me and think perhaps someone else might resonate with this. You know, the work that we're all doing, it doesn't just stop with us. You know, I'm guessing that every single woman that is here who's doing whatever they're doing in their own lives is impacting someone else. You know, this is stuff that it just goes on. It keeps going on. The more we heal, the more we have the ability to impact other people to heal. And the more we understand ourselves, the more we can be that person who, when they are in our presence, we can offer them that knowing without words, that understanding, that all that stuff that, you know, we knew we needed, when all the other people saying, well, we don't really get what you're talking about. We get it now. We can be that person for someone else. And I wanted to say that because this is huge. I mean, if one of us impacts one other person, I mean, how huge is that? I mean, I just find that just spectacular.
Donna, I couldn't have wrapped it up better. I think we just do a big smile and a big hug and say yes. Thank you. I love it. So true. Yep, it ripples out, and it starts here. It starts right inside of us. It starts in that connection, and then we get to flow out to the world. So thank you all for everything you shared tonight, for being you, for being in my life. You're so loved. When I do this, sometimes, look, little hearts go flying. And then this one, let's see if this will work. Woohoo! Technology is so exciting. I'm easily amused, right? All right. How about everybody unmute and just say goodbye? I just want to hear all your voices. Thank you for being here. I love you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Love you.
You belong. Yes. Hope to see you all soon. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye bye.